Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, mystery solved. We have found out what happened to the woman who went missing in the Caribbean. We also have a report on Viking cruise lines as they have announced not surprising news, but pretty weird news, if you will, as far as bookings for next year. And in Australia, I just reported on that person who was arrested getting on the ship, basically getting into a brawl a mere couple hours before the ship set sail. Well, now 2 more guys on the same ship in separate incidences have also been arrested. Well, before I go a little bit further, we have had a little bit of disappointing news last night. Many of you may know Captain Kirk on board, that's right, that's what they go by, is a rock musician. And in fact, he came down and saw the group Rebel. He was sitting in the theater on the far side when we were there. He loves rock music, he's an avid guitarist, and he has his own show on the Celebrity XL. But unfortunately, one of the musicians last night in his band, the band was either sick or injured, and so they ended up canceling the show last night. So I didn't get to see Captain Kirk perform, which is one of the things I was kind of looking forward to. Something a little different in the entertainment, to see a captain up on board rocking away. I would have enjoyed seeing that. But the ship sails on, and there are a lot of people on board that are feeling the motion the last few days. We've had some cloudy and windy days, and we are rocking quite a bit. Like my hangers last night were moving quite a bit. So that lets you know we're rocking. And it doesn't bother me. I feel nothing. But I'm quite sure some of the people I've sailed with, like my niece and other friends, would be feeling this dramatically. But on with the news. We have a resolution there. The Anna Evans, who had disappeared in the Caribbean islands. She's a 55-year-old American citizen. And she went on a shore excursion. She was on a bus tour, went over to the French side of the island, and never returned back to the bus. Well, police started searching. The cruise ship notified them. They're looking for them. Finally, the call went out to social media and the news stations, and apparently they discovered that her passport was used to check into a hotel on the French side of the island as well. They've had people spot her in the area, and apparently now they've made contact. Due to privacy laws, etc., the police are not allowed to disclose what they found out or anything like that, only that they have found her and she is alive and no foul play was involved. Now, highly chances in this situation was she was trying to immigrate to the island for one reason or another. Could be somebody she knows there that she wants to move in with. It could be running from the law. It could be so many things, right? So the good news is she's alive and well, and no foul play was involved in this situation. So that's one thing. Next, let's talk about the fighting in Australia. I just talked about a lawyer who allegedly got into a fight and a scuffle with a 70-some-year-old man. And basically he ended up in the hospital and had to be CPR'd, etc. Well, now, apparently on the same ship, 2 separate gentlemen in 2 separate incidences were now arrested and allegedly charged now with assault. One was for kicking a woman after an altercation. a few times allegedly. Another one was where another guy allegedly assaulted another woman multiple times. Usually when you hear that multiple times, it's usually somebody who is with that person, right? A husband, a boyfriend, etc. Because you don't normally run into a same person on the cruise ship over and over again and assault them and get away with it, right? So it's usually somebody that's known to each other and domestic relations, shall we say. So yeah, not great. Like that's 3 in the same week on sailings out of Australia, and the season is only a few months, like a month or so old. So let's hope we don't have too many more of those and more people get more into the holiday spirit than to come into some brawls like that. Next, I want to talk about Viking cruise lines, both river and ocean. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with all the news going on and all the stories, from the scary stories like people going missing to the new cruise ships coming online and the thoughts and what you can expect on different voyages and the changes to your cruise that may be coming up that you were unaware of. I hope you'll join us. It doesn't cost anything, but it really does help the channel out when you hit that subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, I hope you'll join me. And I do appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about Viking Cruises. They just announced their quarterly earnings and looks like they're doing quite well. They're up like 14% over the previous year. Everything looks really rosy, and it looks even more rosy in 2026. That's right. They've come out and said that both their ocean and their river cruises for 2026 are already 70% booked. 70%. And unlike, say, booking with some cruise lines, like ocean cruise lines, those deposits aren't refundable, right? Maybe half of it might be refundable. So if you're, usually people who book river cruises are set to go. They're ready to go. So 70% booked for all of 2026 so far. And their bookings in 2027 are looking just as strong. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for that cruise line. I'm curious to see how the other river cruise lines are doing. And remember, that's 70% booked with a new cruise line by Celebrity coming out next year. 2 new river cruises by Celebrity that a lot of people are talking about, a lot of people are wondering about. And so I'm wondering, that's right, I'm wondering if it's going to have really any effect whatsoever, or is it just going to be status quo and the popular river cruise lines are just going to stay just as popular because people are loyal to their brands? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you go on a Ammo Waterways, a Riviera, or a Viking river cruise before a Celebrity cruise? Or if you've never gone on a river cruise, would you choose Celebrity's river cruise just because you're more familiar with the ocean product? Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, I hope you liked this video. You did? Please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.